This is like third take. Okay. Reading recommendations. Let's get right onto it. So, first one I read was, well, not first one I read, but like the first one. Do I have to do a 14th take? Was Wonder Woman Tempest Tossed. And although people are saying that the DC Inc. imprint is very woke, it's not that bad. There's definitely worse comics out there that take the woke agenda and just throw it out of the blow it out of the water and make it just terrible to read and make it so you don't want to buy comics. The comics are not publisher anymore. They're going to keep doing that. But Tempest Tossed I found to be a good story. It dealt with a lot of themes that I was very impressed with they did. Because most DC Inks, most DC Inks do that. That's what I like, and that overshadows the bad. And there was one big woke thing that I will always remember, and that's there's two characters. Now, if you know Wonder Woman, if you've seen the Wonder Woman movie like me, you know there's a character named Steve Trevor, and he's not gay. There's two characters in this book called Steve and called Trevor. You see what they're doing with that? And they're both gay. Yeah, because you gotta get that gay representation, or minority ethnicity, whatever you call it, representation in your book, or else, all the Twitter people are gonna cancel you. That is the saddest thing, is that Twitter can just cancel you. But anyways, Laurie Hulse Anderson also wrote, I had a perfect way of reviewing the ones I reviewed before I had to end the video, and I just lost it. I should have just edited it out. I've had editing software. But yeah, I would recommend Tempest Tossed. It's a good one. Tempest Tossed. What does that even mean? I read the book and I don't know what that means. It was one of those Wonder Woman books that is going to get me into more Wonder Woman comics, like with the Rebirth series. I'll probably just continue reading that because I want to get up to the one I was reading and maybe get up to 750 before I read 750, which isn't going to be too hard because I don't like reading a 100-page book all in one day, because I like to, unless I'm like in camp and don't care because I don't have as many or all my comics with me, I like to read at least one of these a day. And if I'm getting on a good streak, maybe 4 or 10. My all-time high is 14. If I wake up early and I have nothing to do other than do this and watch videos, I can't just do that straight on. I'll get bored of it. And my mind is reading without taking breaks. Even as avid as a reader as I am, I have to take breaks from reading, however long or short they may be. But I like to at least read at least 4 a day. 4 is good as my average. That way, it's 28 per week. And that is insane to think about how much that is per year. On average, you mathematicians out there are probably already getting it. And you're like, this is the number, you idiot. 208 comics a year. Jesus Christ. That's why a lot of them are library books, or else I would have read every single comic by now that I own. And I would have hated that. Damn it, how many in, let's say, 55 years? So I do 55 times 52, I believe. Jesus, times 4? 11,000? If I'm doing the math right? If my eyes multiplying? I don't know. Anyways, so, tangents. Not tangents, but not like, getting off track, basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's talk about that. Talk about the comments. So yeah, it'd probably be a while until I read that Wonder Woman book. Next one was Speak. And it is so depressing. It's about this girl who was also by the same person who wrote Tempest Tossed. Stupid title. Every time I say it, I feel like I lose my reviewers' credibility by 1% or more, like 5% every time I say Tempest Tossed. But it goes near 5%. But it's Speak. It's about Speak. It's super depressing. It's about a girl who went through a trauma that I predicted. When you're reading through it and she's talking about it, she doesn't say it. She's like alluding to it. Like, yeah, I know exactly what it is. and great. It's one of these books, and it is. It's a very good book, and it has a very uplifting ending, and I liked how it ended. It's hard to get through. It's one of those books that I just can't deal with I can deal with it, obviously, but it's one of those subjects that it's very hard for me to get through because I just don't like hearing about that in the news. That's why I don't watch the news. That, and why would I watch something that's depressing? Why not just watch Train Spotting or Room or any of those depressing movies over and over and over again? But I would rather watch those movies again than watch the news because those are good movies, and the news is just depressing and people screaming about Trump and politics and shit. Anyways, yeah, it was depressing, but I liked it. I'd recommend it. It was the graphic novel version of the book. And I highly recommend that you guys read that one. Next one was New Kid. I reviewed all these besides Speak. I was about to get to that book, Speak. So New Kid. I remember everything I say a lot of stuff to say. Okay, so Jeff Kinney writes a quote, and it says something along the lines of, and Jeff Kinney's the author from The Kid, and he writes something along the lines of, "You'll fall in love with the character of Jordan Banks, or kids will fall in love with the character of Jordan Banks," because this book is made for kids, it's targeted for children. And I liked that there was a reference to Wimpy Kid in the book. So it's kind of like, I'll scratch my back, you scratch my back. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You reference Wimpy Kid, I'll give you a quote. And he did. This is how you over explain something and you're unsettled about it. It's supposed to fall over. But New Kid is one of those books, like with the first three with the first three middle school books by James Patterson. No, not by James Patterson. One's by Chris Tibbetts. James Patterson doesn't write his own fucking books, and it pisses me off because he gets paid billions of dollars. Probably billions at this fucking point. Millions of dollars. Let's be reasonable. And all these other guys probably get paid maybe thousands, maybe, but they probably live a lot less. In a smaller house and have to don't get by as well as James Patterson does. I don't know if that's true because a lot of his books say by James Patterson and this guy, but I don't remember the other guy that wrote the other books. And obviously, because that series has deteriorated in quality over the years or over the span of 5 books, I can tell that it's because the author changed. Not the name of the faker, but the author changed. The actual author. They're gonna make a documentary like a Batman and Bill did with Bill Finger and Bob Kane. Don't know, but Bill Finger made up everything about Batman that you know and love today, and Bob Kane took all the credit for it. And just recently that the DC gave Bill Finger the credit he deserves, even though it's still Batman created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. The smallest amount of baby steps, I guess. Like, so small that even a baby would overstep it, without even trying. But anyways, New Kid. I just get off in these little tangents. Anyways, it's one of those books that, like with the middle school books, it's trying to do something more than something like Wimpy Kid. I like Wimpy Kid. I have more Wimpy Kid books than those middle school books. And Jeff Kinney, hopefully, is an actual writer. He actually writes his damn books. I mean, producing it right. Because he has so many pictures in it. And it takes me... If I really wanted to, I could finish an entire Wimpy Kid in the span of a day. And not 24 hours. It's like maybe 12 at the most. That's why I wish they were cheaper. I mean, yeah, but even the longer comics I read in one day, but that's different. The most expensive comic I've had to get is $9.99. That's 100 pages, and I'd want to take a break, or somewhere 100 pages, somewhere 80 pages, but you get the point. Okay. Tangents. I'm getting off on them. New Kid. it's trying, really, it's trying hard. It's trying its best, not too hard, not trying to, like, really delve deep into these themes, and it is, but like it's not try hard. It's not trying to be like, I'm different from everyone else because I did this. No, it's not conceited. It's trying to tell a story, and what the story it tells is damn good. I recommend it to everybody, not just kids. All right, next one, it's Stitches, not a kid's book. It's about a kid who did not die because it's a memoir. He did not die. I think he had cancer, but I don't know if because he has like a cut in his throat, and it's very visible with the artwork. It's a graphic novel. These are all graphic novels, by the way. He has like a cut in his throat, and it's like cancer, and like it's complicated. You gotta read the book to really understand that. I wouldn't recommend reading the back of the book because it sounds ridiculous and stupid, and I was really reluctant to pick it up. I picked it up because I heard it was good. Not because I heard it was good, because it was on Prime Reading. Lots of Prime Reading. Oh, by the way, the Arkham Asylum book is back on Prime, and I'm pissed off. Because that's $20 that could go to this, to fixing this shit. And $20 that could go to getting to get more of these, more recent, quicker than the month that's gonna take. Anyways, tangents. Stop getting on them. I hope you guys like this tangent, because this is already 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes, and I'm trying to watch a movie at the end of this, and it's already 10:42. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I really gotta hurry. Okay. New Kid, it's a good book. Wait, I was on something else, wasn't I? Yeah, Stitches. See, that's how long I was hinting I was going on. I just forgot what the book I was talking about. I haven't even gotten to the ones I actually have with me. Alright, Stitches, go. It's a good book. It's I would say it's a PG-13 book. So if you're 13, teenagers can read it just fine. Not too adult for them. It's one of those books that you feel bad for the character. Like, he had a terrible life. His parents hated him. His parents did hate him. But not like, it wasn't like, they didn't really slap him. They slapped him once or twice. But it wasn't like that. It was more emotionally and verbally abusive to him. And it was one of those books that I'm surprised what this family went through. Not just the kid, but like the extended family, the grandmother. Technically, what she went. Yeah, well, she went. Like, so the grandmother's insane. Spoilers, or the great grandmother. I don't remember exactly. Probably spoke about it like spoilers. But the grandmother's completely insane, and she was in an insane asylum. She tries to kill the grandfather by burning him with the furnace. Turn on the furnace and blowing him up and shit. And the mother is lesbian, and like all this shit that I'm like, wow, that is insane. I can't believe the guy has all these stories to tell. Like, he would probably be the life of the party. I feel like I'm telling stories like that in his childhood. And it's one of those books, it's one of those things that I want more of his childhood. I want to learn more, because it's a short book. I mean, not short, because it was 400 pages almost. And it's one of those books that, even though there's splash pages, and splash pages are are pages without word balloons, it's just panels and pictures. So it's very easy to read. Just you look at the picture, turn page, picture, turn page, picture, turn page. And words, you gotta read every single word, so you gotta understand what's going on. But even without that, it took me a lot less time to read than it would have if it was a boring book. And it was a very good book, very fast paced, kind of sorta. It wasn't super slow. I read it. I would have read it all in one day if I really wanted to. I think it was 2 days or 3, maybe 4 at the most. But for me to read a 400-page comic, it's like the size of a normal book. It's a little longer than a book. I can't really do a good job of explaining it. It's kind of like, I knock over shit just to show you something that doesn't matter. It's a little wider than that. Obviously not as thick, but it's a little wider than this. It's like this, perfect, like almost like that. But then like that's the width. And it's not turned over on its side. So 400 pages, pretty impressive for me to read all that in not even 4 days. I think it was like 2 or 3. Same thing with Speak, as hard as it was to get through. It's entertaining. It's like page turner. That was the perfect way. It was a perfect word to use, and because I have no brain sometimes, I have to over-explain the shit. But though they're page turners, is my point. Next one is the Teen Titans book. It was the last one they had. It was an episode. It was volume 12, and I don't know if I'll be getting volume 13. It was good, but it's one of those books that I'm glad I got at the library, because unless it was already reduced price, I liked it. But it's one of those things where this is the same reason why, as much as I actually liked it, as unlike people, I like it more than people are saying, the Tom King Batman Rebirth run. I'd rather wait till they get more of them, which is impossible because they're already out of print. Teen Titans books. They're old. They had them since 2010. I think I explained to you guys this before, if they're somewhere falling apart. But yeah. I don't know if it's just that biased that I feel like if they wait long enough, they'll have the next issue, the next volumes of the Batman Rebirth, which I would expect them to have sooner than the Teen Titans ones. Or another library would have it. If they wait long enough, it'll be free on Prime somehow. I don't know. It's not even available digitally. You have to get like the individual issues. Anyways, I liked it. And actually, I feel like it's a very underrated comic. I feel like no one really talks about it when they talk about Walking Dead. They talk about good Jeff Johns books. I mean, it's probably because I haven't really read a lot of his books. I've read some of his Flash series, and it's very slow. It's his Flash run's known for starting out slow. But I don't know, his Teen Titans was more fast paced than his Flash run. Maybe I guess I heard his Green Lantern's really good, and I have yet to actually read that. I guess I'm trying to get through the Flash run because I don't like reading two of the same creator. I don't want to be reading two Jeff Johns books at the same time, unless it's Teen Titans or unless it's a library book. Anyways, I'm going on these tangents, and it's taking forever to just talk about one damn book. But the Teen Titans, as much as I don't want to buy the next volume, I want to read the next damn volume. So I recommend it. And you don't necessarily, you do have to read Infinite Crisis before one of the volumes. But that's why you look in the comic and you see what the issue collects. Because it says collecting, and it should have said material from, because it's material from Infinite Crisis 5 and 6. So when you get to that one, I would recommend, I think it's Teen Titans East, the one before Teen Titans East. I remember that because it was that day that I had to get two, because I had gotten, let's say it was volume 7. I got volume 7, and I was supposed to be on volume 6. And I forgot that I hadn't read volume 6, and I did, without, seeing the cover, because I wrote down my phone, and I thought I was a volume up. Anyways, I think it's around that one, but that's the only one you have to read before. I haven't read much of the Teen Titans before to know some of the characters that's after that. They do talk about things that most likely happened in the Teen Titans past, but it wasn't like too terribly confusing. If you don't like that thing, that when they do that, when it's like, what happened? How was that character? How was she dead? Mild spoilers. Well, it's Raven that dies. Spoilers. Again, spoilers from these books. Like, what the hell happened to Raven? Why is she dead? Then I wouldn't recommend you do that. But if you're like me and you don't really care, then, unless it gets really confusing, then I'd recommend you read that. Next one, what else was there? There were 7 of them. Wonder Woman, New Kid. I don't know if I had a script, I ran down, or not had a script, had an editing software I could edit into this part of the video. Look at, because it's on the iPad, it's where I'm automatically logged in onto my library thing, and it still shows, because it's COVID, it still shows the books that I returned. It takes 4 days for them to put them in. But yeah, again, New Kid, Speak, Teen Titans, Stitches, Tempest Cross, Walking Dead, and Sandman. Yeah. Walking Dead is as good as ever. Again, some issues are slower than others, but the most recent one I'm reading, I read 2 in one day. I usually don't do that unless I have to, or else I make myself. But I didn't make myself. I almost read 3. It was very fast paced. Yeah, good as ever for Walking Dead. Sandman, it's okay. I'm going to get so much hate for that. The first 3 are really good, and just it gets kind of slow in the fourth one. It's not okay. I don't know why I just said it. I don't know why I said that. It was a joke. I wouldn't even say it's gone downhill. It's just I don't like what they're doing with the character. It's slightly overrated. But I'm still going to get the next volume. So I still have an incentive to read it. So it's obviously it's because it's good. It means it's good. Alright, now for the final few. Final 2, actually. Batman Last Night on Earth. What I liked about it was all the stuff it introduced. Spoilers, by the way. It starts out with Batman waking up while he's on a case of this kid, and like actually it was a chalk drawing, and he's like checking that out. Turns out to be Joker, by the way, I think. Yeah, it was Joker. He's investigating, and that's a word. Investigating this crime, whatever. And then it cuts, and then he's waking up in an insane asylum. It turns out that all this Batman shit is thought up. And then Scott Snyder is like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Let's go on to this. And it's just like it's jumbled. I don't like that, but I like all these stuff it introduces. Yeah, I saw the whole Batman isn't real thing in Batman Killer Smile, which I reviewed, so it's not a spoiler. You should have seen the video beforehand. Anyways, there's some that are in the Batman Killer Smile and Joker Killer Smile books, and just here, just like throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. But none of these books I felt like it was I felt like I wasted my money on. Unless they put it on Prime Reading. Like they did with that Arkham Asylum book. I'm still pissed off about that. I bought that at full price. But even then, it's not like... It's been a while since I bought this. So, if it was on Prime Reading tomorrow, I wouldn't be as pissed. I wouldn't be pissed off at all, really. I like these. They're pretty good. I'd say it's like a... Slightly recommend it. If you don't like how books get super confusing and convoluted and throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, then you probably won't like this. And it's one of the reasons why I don't want to get into Dark Knight's death metal and Dark Knight's metal and Batman Who Laughs as much as I want to see that character, because I've heard he's pretty interesting character. I just don't want to get into the jumbled mess. I've heard that the whole continuity, the whole actually continuity technically to that too. And like the mythology and stuff like that, I've heard it's just so confusing and like just, ugh. But I slightly recommend it. If you wanted to read it, it's only 3 issues, and I haven't read much of the New 52 series because apparently it takes place in that series. It's very confusing exactly what universe it takes place in. I think it's New 52 universe. That's right too. Never mind, it is. And I haven't read many of those, so I wasn't too terribly confused like with Teen Titans. Partial bias because I've had some of it spoiled for me. But even then, it was like, there wasn't much. Okay. Let's summarize, shall we, Justin? Okay. Jesus, where was I going with that? Fuck. Oh, there's only a few references to New 52. So I recommend it if you just want to read something like that. Only 3 issues. It is a little long. They're longer than a normal comic book is. But if you're up for that, and read it. It's a good ride. I liked how it ended. I liked that Batman and Joker team up. Spoilers again. And becomes Robin, and I had spoiled for me. Not that they teamed up, but that he was Robin. Should know that he teamed up. But, yeah, he's Robin. I thought he was going to be like an evil Robin or something like that. He steals one of the Robin suits. Last one. Batman: The Dark Knight Master Race. I think I've explained on this channel before that I did not really enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I know that it's very influential. The Dark Knight Returns. I liked it for that. I like that it's influential and that it's without that we wouldn't have the Batman we have today, or the movies or the TV shows like the Batman animated series. I get that. I get that. It's very groundbreaking. I should have just fucking said that shit. Well, actually, no, because you should say, like, we wouldn't have this or that. Or the Christopher Nolan trilogy, or Joker, or any of that shit. The Joker movie, not Joker the character. It was created in 1940. Obviously, we'd still have Joker. But it'd be a different Joker than he is now. I get it's influential. I get that. But the news segments are endless, and the artwork ranges from good to what the hell is going on here. And that's why I skipped the second one, because I heard the second one is even worse. And this one, I actually liked. I did not like it better than the first one, than Dark Knight Returns. The first one, obviously not. But I liked that it fixed some of the problems. The one issue I had with, it's pretty prominent, that I had with Dark Knight Returns. But it created some new problems. They have like these little like Dark Knight Presents books. It's actually written by Brian Azzarello, the actual Dark Knight Master Race book. But I believe the Dark Knight Presents written by Frank Miller, and those are really weird. It gets weird. There's a lot of stuff in it I didn't really enjoy. The artwork is just okay. Wonder Woman is drawn very weird, very strangely. There's this character called Lara, who is Wonder Woman's daughter, and she's drawn very weirdly. The artwork is good. You know, it's not terrible. It's just it's off. It's like kind of uncanny valley almost. Look it up. I liked it. I'm getting too close to the camera. I liked it. No, this is getting too close to the camera. Hi guys, how's it going? This is my reviews. I just felt like it was getting too close. Anyways, I liked that one. I'd recommend it, and I swear to God if it's on Prime Reading, if someone's getting blocked. That was not a threat, that was a joke. And obviously they wouldn't get blocked. I like getting hard copies of books. Even Arkham Asylum, I'm not too terribly pissed, because now that's one less book that I have to exchange a book to get that one. So, you know, if I want this book and I haven't read Arkham Asylum yet, I don't have to worry about that. I don't know. That's it. 27 minutes. Yeah, that's it. 27 minutes, and most of it was me rambling.